before we dive in, I have to say congratulations for the amazing season of Cobra Kai season 5. It was brilliant. I loved it.
Yeah, season 5 was really.
I know it was amazing.
It was terrific. I was very honored to be a small part of it.
I binged it in a whole day. That's that crazy. But yeah, I have to ask, how does it feel to be back and to play the character again after this long?
It's an amazing feeling, to have done a role 35 years ago and that it still has some relevance and it has a place in the hearts of the fans is incredible. It was a great experience as an actor to get another bite at the apple and play this character. This time, showing more facets, more parts of the personality that I didn't get to show in the original film. It's 30 some years down the road. The guy has evolved one way or the other. He certainly hasn't, stayed the same. And for me, it was really important to be able to show how the character had changed, and also to try and interject some humor into the character where possible.
Talking about playing the character, how was the experience of doing some karate after all these years? And did you have to do some training, some workout, or did it just come back to you now?
Well, I mean, I've kept up with my martial arts over the years, so it wasn't too terribly difficult. It was a lot of fun. I didn't expect to be able to do. I had sort of 3 different little fight sequences. The one with Chosen being the biggest. So it was a lot of fun. You never have as much time as you'd like. We probably wish we had more time because we would have done more. But I'm really. I'm just humbled by the fact that I got a chance to do this after all of these years and to be a part of a show that is it's become such a worldwide phenomenon.
In regards to karate, you've had, obviously, like you said, a lot of brawls in Mike Barnes' shoes again, and you've worked with many people on sets. What was your favorite fight sequence to perform this season with the character? Not just this season, but throughout your time playing as Mike. And who was your favorite person to work with?
There's a lot to unpack there. I would say that probably the fight with Chosen was the most in-depth one. So I would probably have to say that was the most fun to film. I think that some kind of altercation between Mike Barnes and Johnny Lawrence was really anticipated by the fans. Yeah. And, that was just a little tiny thing. But who was my favorite person to work with? I've known Billy and Ralph and Yuji for many, many, many years. It was just great to work with all of them, and doing that scene outside the stretch limousine.
That was a fun scene.
4 of us. It was a little bit of magic. I got to be honest. It really. You've got four guys.
Yeah, it was crazy.
3 guys that were Daniel's sworn enemies that are now kind of coming together as his friends. It was something else.
Just the nostalgia just came back that season. It was amazing. Yeah, and like you said, you've technically played 2 sides to Barnes over the years, and Karate Kid 3 was that main antagonist of the film, and now in Cobra Kai he's transitioned a lot into a more collective person, and he does still have his anger in him, obviously, like we saw at the end, but he's fighting alongside the person who used to be his enemy, right. And he's fighting against the person who used to mentor him. But for you, what side to Barnes did you enjoy playing? Was it the villain in the old film, or this new beautifully written side to Barnes?
Well, listen, I did enjoy playing the redemptive aspects of when I apologized to Daniel. I like that because it shows growth and self-awareness. I really liked playing kind of the humorous give and take with Chosen, especially about the couch. That was a lot of fun. Yeah. But it's always a lot of fun to play Mike Barnes when he's Mike Barnes. But here's the thing, he wasn't, he wasn't sort of the same. He wasn't doing this from a place of being a bully. You know what I mean? He was doing this because everything he loved was taken away from him. His wife, he lost his wife, he lost his business. So he wasn't preying upon somebody from a place of being a bad guy.
Retaliating, basically, sort of.
Yeah, coming from coming from a good place. Yeah. But it's like when the chips are down, it's nice to know that when the bad boy still lives inside of him when he has to draw.
I kind of saw that at the end as well.
Yeah.
That whole scene was just amazing to see that you still had that flair in you as well. Let's go on to a bit about the show itself and the whole franchise. Obviously, Cobra Kai, they've just been bringing ideas out of their pocket, like literally every season. They've got humor, action, they've so many twists and turns and new characters we haven't seen portrayed that way ever before, like with your character as well. And it's just incredible, honestly. So for you, Sean, what things in specific do you think makes this franchise so successful?
I think probably one of the most important aspects of the show that has made it a huge success is the fact that it caters to two different age demographics, and it does it very effectively. You know, you've got the guys my age who like the show because they grew up with it. They like it for nostalgic reasons. They like to see Johnny, who they can relate to. Who's kind of anachronistic. I mean, he's still got one foot firmly implanted in the 80s. And I can relate to that a little bit. And then you've got the writing that caters to the guys your age, guys and girls your age, the younger kids who, many of whom probably didn't watch the original movies, fell in love with Cobra Kai, and then went back. Wait a second, these are actually based on movies. But the thing is this. It's not easy to write to two different ages, we laugh at a lot of the same things, but we also laugh at different things, right? Yeah. And there's things that are, that resonate emotionally more with someone my age maybe than do with your age and vice versa. But what it's done is the show has created a magnet. It's like an emotional magnet where, parents and their kids who might not have anything else they can talk about around the dinner table, because you know how it is at that age when you're a kid, can get together and watch Cobra Kai and have a period where they can relate to each other.
Yeah, because I did the same with my mum and my younger sister, just a few years younger than me. It was so collective. Yeah. I sat down, watched it, and I think that's what makes it, like you said, that's what makes it successful as it is. And talking about the show, there's potential for a 6th season as well. Do you think Barnes has a place in that season, and can you see yourself returning?
I absolutely think Barnes has a place in it. I'm not basing that off anything other than, my own speculation and hope. But I certainly hope so. And, you got to remember, Mike was a national champion. I mean, who better to help prepare these kids for this huge tournament than a guy that was, a national champion? You got to believe that Mike has some tournament experience that neither Daniel Chosen or Johnny have. So I think he would be a great piece of the puzzle of what it's going to take for everyone to do well at the tournament.
Definitely, I would like to see how that unfolds as well. But before we finish, I have a question about your new book. And tell us briefly what it's about and when it's going to come out.
So the sequel to Way of the Cobra is called Way of the Cobra, Welcome to the Kumite. And for those people that don't know what Kumite means, it means two things. It's a mode of training in Japanese karate which prepares you for an adversary, but it's also kind of an epic contest. And the premise of the book is defeating your greatest opponent, which of course is yourself. How do you defeat your greatest opponent? Well, you do it by experiencing a metaphoric death every day. You're basically, allowing the person that you are yesterday to die so that you can emerge as a newer version of yourself the next day. And what I teach you is how to do that. It's also a much more personal book. In Way of the Cobra, I talked about the situation I found myself in prior to writing Way of the Cobra. In Welcome to the Kumite, I tell you how I got myself there. And so it's a very honest and I think vulnerable look at some of my struggles and challenges and how I overcame them. And it's not mandatory that you've read Way of the Cobra to enjoy Way of the Kumite, but it definitely helps.
Thank you so much for this, man.
Hey, man, it was my pleasure. I want to wish you all the best. Thank you so much for being so supportive of the Karate Kid Cobra Kai universe. It means a lot. I have to tell you, I really love our UK fans. I mean, the UK Cobra Kai Karate Kid fans are sick, man. Yeah. And I've gotten to know so many amazing people in the UK as a sort of a positive collateral effect of having come out in Cobra Kai. So just from the bottom of my heart, thank you all. And I appreciate it. And go buy my book, Way of the Cobra, at waythecobra.com.